What's going on? Ryan here. In this video, we're talking about institutional execution. Let's get into it. Welcome back. Ryan here. We're talking about institutional execution. Now, again, I got my browser loaded up, and we're just going to go through and talk a little bit about what institutional execution is. So remember, before we were talking about all of these different retail brokers, right? Now, again, if you're a person managing your own money, you're probably using a retail broker with retail execution, retail software. That's an all-inclusive package, right? Where that retail software, you have your data that you're not paying for. It's just part of that package that you're getting from whatever broker you're using, right? Now, when we think about institutional execution, when we look at a big bank like Goldman Sachs, and we look at their global market prime services, we can see that, okay, they have agency securities lending, capital introduction, clearing, client services, derivative clearing services, futures, hedge fund consulting, registered investment advisor custody, reporting and technology, risk management and financing, securities lending, synthetics, right? There's all of these suite of tools that they're offering to institutions to take care of all of these different things that need to be done when you're a professional, you have a fund, you're managing other clients' money, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Just know that there's a difference between being an investor for yourself, using that retail execution, that package that's designed for yourself to invest, as opposed to some of the prime services that the large banks offer to corporations and funds and different things like that. So Goldman Sachs is a big one. Morgan Stanley has prime services as well. JP Morgan Prime. Credit Suisse Prime Services. Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, right? These are huge banks, huge established banks, right? And they have all of these suite of tools that they're offering for the institutional execution, right? Who else do we have? UBS Prime Services, BNP Paribas Global Prime Services. Here we go again. Interactive Brokers, right? So Interactive Brokers is also a retail broker. They have retail software, but again, they also are offering prime broker services, right? So a different set of tools. Barclay Prime, right? Citi Prime, and most of these large big banks offer these prime services. Now, there's kind of another little area that we're going to talk about more towards the end of this masterclass, and that has to do with specifically the entities around futures and options trading, right? Like commodity trading advisors, commodity pool operators, introducing brokers, futures commission merchants, and associated persons, right? So a lot of these prime brokers and a lot of the retail brokers are also futures commission merchants, right? Or introducing brokers, right? There's a lot of overlapping when it comes to securities licenses and the prime brokers and the retail brokers. Like there's a lot of overlapping. That's why unless you have somebody teach you about this or you specifically are studying for a securities license, a lot of retail brokers, they're just never exposed to the hierarchy and all of these different things that are out there, right? So just to talk about some third-party software that you can use with different brokers or introducing brokers or futures commission merchants that offer a more customized experience, right? Something like CTS, right? So CTS is Cunningham Trading Systems, and they offer, right, they offer APIs, and they offer desktop software, and just all of these different things that is a more custom solution for trading, mostly used in conjunction with, introducing brokers, futures commission merchants, with, futures contracts and options, right? So CTS is a big one. CQG is another big one. MetaTrader is another big one. There, you'll hear a lot about MetaTrader with Forex, and again, Bloomberg Terminal, right? You'll hear a lot about Bloomberg Terminal. And what's important to understand is, so you have the retail, you have the institutional, and on the retail side, the retail package is like the whole thing, right? Like the data that they're giving you from the market is included in that retail package. Whereas if you're a hedge fund and you're working with a prime broker to have all these services, you're probably going to be paying extra money for the data, right? It's the same thing if you were to open an account with an introducing broker and then you were going to use a more custom software solution. Usually the data that you're getting is like, you have to pay for that data, right? So with CTST4, with CQG, MetaTrader, Bloomberg Terminal, I think for a Bloomberg Terminal, it's like $2,000 a month, right? So as you get more sophisticated, as you're looking at different data streams, obviously you're going to have to pay for that stuff, right? So that's why it's really important to understand all of these options, right? The retail, the prime brokers, and then the institutional versus the retail execution. Another big one is flex trade, right? A lot of these softwares, they offer custom APIs where you can build algorithms and all of these different things. So really think about this, right? Really think about, you're investing for yourself, and then what it would be like to then maybe become a professional, invest for other people, and then understand all of the different brokerages, all of the different large banks offering these suite of tools for you as an investor or a manager to be able to navigate this world, right? So all of this stuff is really important, and we're going to continue talking about it. It's going to come back up again, and I look forward to getting more into this and talking in the next video. So I will see you in the next video.